Welcome back to ELH4X4 Doing Stuff. We're working on a 2000 Silverado 1500 4.8 liter. We're going to be replacing the power steering cartridge. And what we're going to do is get this fan shroud out of the way, take the alternator off first, disconnect the battery, and then pull the whole mounting assembly out. So come on along. You will need the pulley installer and removal tool to do this job. There are 2 screws on either side of the fan shroud and several 2 on each side, which I really appreciate that design that allows you to remove the upper fan shroud half, or half of the upper fan shroud. All right, the 4 push pins. since we would most likely have to remove the factory air box, I'm going to remove this cold air intake nonsense. Look at that. Remove the belt. If you don't have the sticker on the front of your vehicle, I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you don't have this sticker on the front that tells you the pattern, you can take a picture of it, or not and try to figure it out later. I think the idler pulley is a 15 mil. Yep, 15 mil. You don't have to take it completely off, but I did, so let's get that out of the way. $15 mil on the alternator. We still got to disconnect the battery. All right, where are we at here? You see that? All right, so we're going to take this, remove this bracket. I don't know if I disconnected the alternator off camera or whatever, but you unplug it, battery cable off the back. Okay. $15 mil. Pretty much all the hardware. The hardware for this alternator power steering bracket is 15 mil. We don't need to remove the cooling fan. I ordered a new alternator, but in the picture it showed the housing to be a Delphi. That's wonderful. It showed the alternator to be a Delphi, and of course when it showed up, I guess I could use a pry bar on that, right? When it showed up, it wasn't. I mean, it had a name to it, you know, but I at least thought that it was going to be, and you can see here, it says Delphi Automotive Systems. All right, so this part didn't have any markings on it, and then the housing and this connector it was completely damaged. So that part was broken off, so the clip would have never worked. But, you know, this, I don't know how many, if this is the original alternator, so it is kind of gritty. So I'm going to see if I can't get a rebuild kit for it. The bearings and the bushings, the rectifier. Anyway, put this off to the side. All right. We still have to get the power steering hoses. I think it's just these three. Could be wrong. Is there anything on underneath? Perhaps. Yeah, I think there is. You know, it would be easier with power tools, but you know me. All right, the pressure line. You see that? Pressure line is a 16 and a 19 mil. So we'll get that taken off. And even about right there. And then a return line is a hose clamp. All right, we can get our a drain pan. anyway. All right, we'll keep working on this front mount. Let me see if I can get you a better look at the hardware. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then 1 at the bottom. Can you guys see that? I don't know. One at the very bottom. So I'm going to keep working that, and we'll get right back to it. All right, I forgot there's let me get something to point with. Right here is part of a bracket. You might want to get yourself some plugs ready. I'm going to start with the return line. All right, we got the return line and the pressure line disconnected and plugged on the pump. So now we can finish removing everything. Maybe. I guess this is where power tools would come in handy. All right, here we go. Take that, lift it up out of the way. All right, so here's the pump without the reservoir. This one comes with the outer seal already installed and a seal kit for the inner seals. And it has plugs in it. Make sure you remove those, all of the plugs, or it won't work. All right, we're going to drain the fluid out of the reservoir. So we can bring the there we go. All right. What we got to do here is take the pulley off, and then we're able to remove the pump and reservoir off of this mounting bracket. So if you've never seen one of these before, There is a way that these things go on. So you're just going to have to figure that out when you get the tool. Okay. All right, let me get the wrenches for that. I'll be right back. All right, I guess I could show you. Anyway, this is a 20 mil and a 16. I don't know if you can see that, but there is an edge that is longer. All right, and that's the edge that you want to put in the groove of the pulley. All right, we're going to dump the fluid. All right, that should be good for now. Let me try that again with the vent hose unplugged. Okay. All right. Now I attempted to rebuild the pump, honed the all the internals and stuff, but it was just too far gone. I thought it was going to work, but it didn't. All right, so now we got 1, 2, 3 bolts. Now we'll get the pump out off this that thing right there, whatever it is, the bracket, mounting bracket. Okay. All right. Let's see if the pump's the same. There's a pump, I think with Hydro Boost is one. I think with this cartridge style, it wants to know if it's a WM or a F, right? And it says it's stamped on the housing. don't know. Oh, it comes with a magnet also. We'll have to further investigate that, I suppose. $16 mil on a pressure side. I guess we could put that in our catch pan. $18 mil. There is an upper and a lower. The lower will be shouldered. Leave these in a little bit. We're going to need those to tap out the cartridge from the reservoir. Let's get the right size for that. All right. Inch and, yeah, 1 inch, whatever that would be in metric. If I'm not mistaken, I think the cartridge has that, and I don't know. I think we'll have to see. All right, there's going to be a spring in there. Now I'm able to push on it because I've had this out before, you know, and I thoroughly cleaned it, and so yours may not come out that easy. All right, watch your ears. I think I just ruined those threads. All right, we'll have to address that later. but we could see where our seals are at. We don't have to take those out. They can stay in. There's a nice chunk of metal in that. All right, let's go through the seal kit. As soon as I get into the blister pack, show you what we're working with. There's like thin and thick style seals. It's a flat seal. And black on black, right? It's getting some light. You have a thick seal and a thin seal. Can you see that? All right. Thick seal over here, thin seal here. And for this application, it's a thin seal. Maybe not. That's different. This one's recessed a little bit more. On the old cartridge, it's a thick seal. Yeah, that sticks up a little bit. Did I put a thin one right back in there? Yes, I did. All right. You know, the seal should be sticking up a little bit, right? And with the thin seal for this cartridge, it's just not doing it. So then we got the same with the seal that goes around the pressure side. There's that one. That already has a seal on it. We're going to leave this off, put the housing in, tighten it down. Then we got a small O-ring and a large O-ring. And we could use that small O-ring on a pressure hose. This large one, I have no idea. Maybe for a different application. I don't know. What we're going to do, we'll get it clocked. we can do also is lubricate this outer seal. There we go. Okay. You can still see the O-ring. Make sure it didn't slip. Non-shoulder bolt goes up top. All right, looks like we're going to have to kind of clock it a little bit better. Give it a little rotation. There we go, much better. Crisis diverted with the threads on the bottom one. I was just seeing if that maybe that O-ring is for the pressure side. It's already on there. Looks seated evenly. Let me just go around and snug these down. You ain't got to kill them on there. Okay, put a pressure line in. I had marked it earlier to index it, so it goes over top of the return line. Okay. This is only going to go on one way. We'll just button that up. We'll get it set up for the mounting bracket. We'll be right back. All right, we'll hit this up with some brake clean, wipe down any of the excess fluid that got on there. That way it's a little bit easier to check for leaks. That just void the warranty? I don't know. Let's give us some room on the table so we can put it back into mounting bracket. Okay, that does thread. All right, we'll get that tightened down and put it back in the vehicle. But first, we got to put the pulley on. I'm going to get these things snug down. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. All right. Yo. Alrighty. Alright, these threads are a little bit boogered from the old pump, so I'm going to clean the threads up and then we'll get this thing installed. Alright. So all you do is you screw this part into the shaft and you just tighten this down. And hopefully it doesn't pull the threads out of the shaft like the original one. The threads were so like rusted that right as I was seating the pulley all the way down, it actually pulled the threads out, and that's what caused the threads on this to get messed up. Let's loosen that up a little bit and see if we can't. I guess that's tightened all the way down. So this one stripped out also, and I had to kind of drive the pulley home. So hopefully that didn't mess something up internally. But now we can go back to the vehicle and put it all back together. All right, reverse order. Slide this thing back in there without pinching any wires or busting anything up. Now you could tap these things in a little bit. You could see how that moved. That way the alternator slides back in there easier. $10 mil. We'll need that for the upper fan shroud when we put that back together. Snug that down a little bit. You don't have to kill it. Put the boot back on. Get this stuff buttoned up and then we'll... So we got it topped off. What we're going to do is opposite lock left to right a couple times. Seems like it's working. Once I get it all filled up, we'll this is with it off the jack. All right, I say that's a win. I don't think my son will be getting his truck back. This thing's turning out to be pretty good. Just kidding, Evan. I need you to get this vehicle back. No leaks. I was concerned about damaging the cartridge when I had to drive the pulley all the way back. But hey, thanks for watching ELH 4x4 doing stuff. 2000 Silverado power steering pump. Thanks for all the new subscribes, and hey, leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll see you at the next one.